I think Louise Bourgeois' art is very liberating. She creates what she wants to, and when she presents it, she doesn't care what other people think, and I think it's quite freeing.
Louise Bourgeois deals with very sensitive, intimate topics, so it was really interesting to hear what another group had to say and hear loads of different opinions and perspectives on the work.
I really like how she uses symbolism in her artwork, such as the spiders, which represent her mother and her relationship with her mother. And I think it really helps you look at lots of other artwork and see that in other places.
I think her art is very liberating. She didn't care what other people thought about it. It was just her projection of her own life onto a piece of paper for other people to see.
She did lots of dry point etching. There was lots of ones of spiders that she made in like different angles, which I thought were really interesting. I really liked how she used dry point etching to make different kind of marks. Like she used like dots and like long lines and different things to make up the spiders, which is quite interesting. That's something that I tried to do.
It's kind of interesting her like art style, because it's not necessarily like always realistic, but it's still very cool and you don't miss anything out of her message just because it's not got every little tiny detail in it.
Louise has definitely changed my perspective in art as a whole. I would say like the way she's portrayed her emotions and her like how she got brought up as a kid through her art and the different styles that she's done definitely has changed my perspective, yeah.
It's inspired me to use more colour because I tend to work with more monochromatic palettes, and by her use of the colour red in these very similarly monochromatic displays, it's very inspirational.
It's inspired me not to care so much. Like if there's a mistake, it doesn't really matter because I can just change it, and nothing matters too much in art because it's completely subjective.
I kind of like the perspective of saying stuff that is very, not say taboo, but just like, oh, you're not allowed to say that in public. It's just, a lot of people don't like talking about sex and childhood and stuff, so it's quite, or anger, so it's kind of nice seeing her work and she's just putting it completely on display.
I find that she's opened my mind to more of the world of art and more types of like pieces and how people see it and how people view everything around them.
Sharing and talking about it in an open space was really interesting to hear how so many people had so many different ideas about what the work meant. And this really changed how I looked at the work myself. So that was really interesting. And it was also really cool to look around the room and see how other people were making work inspired by it. Loads of people took so many different approaches, sculpture, poetry, and it was just really nice to see such a vast range of work.
I really enjoyed working with fabric as it was something I hadn't used prior, and I really liked experimenting with watercolour on the fabric books. So I noticed in Louise Bourgeois' fabric books, she had a lot of spirals and blue, and it kind of reminded me of water. So to incorporate the watercolour into my own fabric books and the spirals, I felt like really made it connect to her and give kind of the same vibe as she was giving. Also, I liked the natural kind of watermarks that happened when the watercolour dried on the fabric, as it was something I wasn't expecting and gave a similar effect to Louise Bourgeois' own fabric books.
I really enjoyed working with Katie because we did a lot of mindless writing and poem writing, and it was really fun to just get your experiences and expressions out on paper. We cut out a red hand and then we stuck paper on it with lines from those poems that we did with Katie. And it was really fun because we got to glue pieces together and cut things out.
We created these, I think they were called dry point etchings, and I really like doing that because I created one of Louise Bourgeois' spiders out of it, and I loved the way like we were able to scratch it in. It was very nice and very fun. I really liked opening my mind to more artists and seeing what other people create and how they like think about other things and have different perspectives on other stuff.
My favourite workshop was the poetry workshop by Kate because I really enjoyed doing a clock poem where we found the words and we had to like then turn it into something else completely and then change it again to create something really beautiful. Entangled, the colossal wreck of nature's art, entangled and entangled, entangled with life protecting ourselves, entangled together yet entangled apart, entangled anywhere but to you. Entangled, entangled is our home, we've made the home that draws me to you. Entangled is our loving ways, entangled is me to you. Entangled is our loving ways, entangled is us. Entangled limbs and webs of silk, woven, entangled, forged or made. Entangled is how I love you. Entangled love, entangled lives, this is how I love you.
I really enjoyed how you can like use the same image that you've created in multiple different ways, so using like different colours, you can use like different backgrounds, but it's like still the same image, you don't have to redraw it. So that was really interesting.
My favourite workshop was probably the fabric books and the pages we did, inspired by Louise, and where we just got to take it off by herself, but with that inspiration from Louise, with all of her the fabric book that she produced.
Probably when we did the fabric books. That was probably my favourite one. I liked cutting stuff out and colouring and experiment with different print blocks and stuff.
My favourite workshop was Kate's poetry workshop because I loved how nothing was random. Everything came from somewhere, came from the gallery, came from just wherever she was thinking in that moment. Cold spider crawling in the dark steel corners, waiting for someone to come along. Alarms quietly rustling, list maker phallic while it crawls up your leg. Tangerine, the colour of most dangerous things. Spider spirals up your leg like a bronze hanging air conditioning. Freedom what it's searching for. Eyes watching you in fear, sending chills to you. A cold sweat, entangled in its webs, crawling up your legs. The tapestry they create. The webs we destroy. Three-headed demons they call spider.
The Burton Youth Collective was set up in 2023 with funding from TATE to coincide with the Louise Bourgeois exhibition that TATE Artist Rooms brought to the Burton. The Burton Youth Collective is formed of 12 young people aged between the ages of 14 and 21, and they have spent the last 3 or 4 months learning about the work of Louise Bourgeois. They've worked with various local artists, learning about fabric sculptures, textile books. They've done poetry workshops. They've made monoprints, etchings, and they've really kind of explored themes and ideas and materials that Louise Bourgeois herself explored in her career.
I think I've been able to improve on some of my drawing skills. I've been able to try doing more line-based drawing rather than focusing on the details. So I've been able to get a better understanding of shapes and how you build off of them.
All the skills I have learnt from the Burton with workshops we've been doing have definitely helped me with when I'm producing my own work, especially the skills that I've learned from just looking at Louise's work has definitely helped me as well, yeah.
I think being part of this collective was amazing to grow my artwork because I got to see other people's personal styles, how they worked, how they saw other things, and it influenced my viewpoint in all these things and opened my mind to other ways I can see things.
I've really enjoyed the workshops. It's definitely something different than I experienced prior because everyone was really passionate about the artwork. Everyone was so supportive and everyone's ideas bounced off each other, and I felt everyone improved and grew so much because everyone was able to support and bounce back and forth and give different advice. And I learned a lot about different techniques as well, and I saw a lot of different styles of artwork which I was just blown away by.
I've found that I've done a lot more of socializing, and I've done a lot more artwork than I usually have in the past couple of years. and it's been quite fun for me.
It was really good, like trying all the different techniques that I'd like never even like heard of. Like really interesting, like the sculptures we made out of like clothes. That was really fun. I'd like never tried that before, so it was really interesting. I'm meeting other people who like are also interested in art, because I don't know many people who are interested in art, so that was really good.
I've gained a lot of confidence in my art, and I've enjoyed talking to other people and gaining new perspectives. And it's just been nice to be part of a group where we all enjoy the same thing.
This whole experience has been so inspirational, I think, to be surrounded by people who want to work creatively and want to explore creative ideas. It's just been, I've never done anything like it before, like just having a space where you can create whatever you want, nothing's right or wrong, and everyone's encouraging you and supporting you. It's such a lovely environment, and it's really nice to see so many different styles of work.
I really feel like I've gained some friendships, and I've learned how to work in a group, and I've learned a lot about different artists. It's been so great working with lots of other people, and it's really, really fun.
Really pleased that the Burton Youth Collective is going to continue after this, and a lot of these young people want to become youth ambassadors for the Burton, and they want to help us bring young people to the gallery through events and exhibitions and workshops and who knows what else. We'd like to thank the TATE Engagement Programme for funding this project and enabling young people to have this opportunity.